You're watching The Book Reviewer with Cindy Brady, where we make hardcovers soft. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Book Reviewer with your host Cindy. And I have another book review to share, you guys. So this is one of the fiction books that I had mentioned in this video here. I will put a link up in the cards above so you can go check that out. I actually had checked this book out another time, but I didn't have time to read it, and this time I did. I was a little bit, I wasn't sure what to expect with this book, but I think it turned out well. So this book is called Her Every Fear by Peter Swanson, and here's what this one is about. Kate Pretty was always a bit neurotic, but after an ex-boyfriend kidnapped her and nearly ended her life, her bouts of anxiety began exploding into full-blown panic attacks. When Corbin Dell, a cousin in Boston, suggests that the two temporarily switch apartments, Kate agrees, hoping that the time away in a new place will help her overcome the past traumas of her life. But at Corbin's grand apartment in Beacon Hill, Kate makes a shocking discovery. His next-door neighbor, a young woman named Audrey, has been murdered. When the police question her about Corbin, a shaken Kate has few answers, but many questions of her own, and her curiosity intensifies when she meets Alan, a handsome tenant who lives across the courtyard. Alan saw Corbin surreptitiously come and go from Audrey's place, yet Corbin's denied knowing her. Then Kate runs into a man claiming to be the dead woman's old boyfriend, who insists Corbin did the deed. Corbin proclaims his innocence and calms Kate's nerves, until she comes across disturbing objects in the apartment. Could Corbin really be a killer? And what about Alan? Kate finds herself drawn to this appealing man who seems so sincere, but she isn't sure. Jet-lagged and emotionally fragile, her imagination full of dark images, Kate can barely trust herself, let alone a stranger she's just met. Yet the danger Kate imagines isn't nearly as twisted as what is about to happen, when her every fear becomes very real, and much, much closer than she thinks. Told from multiple points of view, Her Every Fear is a scintillating, edgy novel rich with Peter Swanson's chilling insights into the darkest corners of the human psyche, and his voracious skill for plotting that have propelled him into the highest ranks of suspense, in the traditions of such greats as Gillian Flynn, Paula Hawkins, Patricia Highsmith, and James M. Cain. So this one, as I've just read, is a different kind of book that I've ever read. It's a psychological thriller. So it's different than like a mystery or something like that, although it did, as a thriller, contain some aspects of a mystery while being kind of a thriller and a page-turner as well. So Peter Swanson was not an author that I have ever heard of before. As I have mentioned in other videos, the look at the book cover and the title and the way it looks is sometimes, well, mostly how I pick books, and that one got me curious about what it was about. So this is definitely a different book than a young adult book. There's always a first time, even for the book reviewer. I will put affiliate links to where you can find it on Amazon. It'll be a Kindle edition, or there are places where you can get the paperback or the hardback version of this book for relatively little or no cost. Well, little cost anyway. Probably not no cost. So, as you guys may not know, or as you guys may know, I graduated from a university about a year ago with a couple of degrees, and one of those degrees was an associate's in psychology. And reading this book was interesting from that perspective, and it was very well written, and just having that knowledge and trying to apply that knowledge was pretty interesting. Um, when you get the basics of any psychological disorders or mental health conditions, or even if you have them yourself, you can apply that to what the author is trying to communicate, or have you picture what's happening. So I may do more from Peter Swanson, but I would need to find out what those books are and check them out and review them. But this one was great. I would recommend it. It is more of an adult book because of not necessarily because of the suspense, but because of the material involved. There are, like the book suggests, murder. There is some mentions of even rage. So those are pretty much adult themes. So I probably would not consider reading this to a young child. I would probably read it to maybe a young adult or an adult, or have them read it, whatever. So definitely an adult material. So that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Keep reading. Don't stop believing. And we will see you again soon. Goodbye, guys.